What's happening, Hammers? Dan Lawless here, back with another edition of the West Ham Week, where I take two or three, rather, the top stories from West Ham for throughout the week and break them down into 2-minute sections. Big one today, big stories just come out about the London Stadium, so I'm going to cover that over across 2 segments today. Don't forget to subscribe, press that notification bell to get notified on our videos, notified, and start the timer now. Okay, so the London Mayor, Sadiq Khan, has published his investigation into the London Stadium deal today. So the report's up there for everyone to see. I've had a quick look at it, had a look through the sort of key points and the conclusion that was reached. And what it's basically saying is, it boils down to the LLDC are completely incompetent in how they've approached the stadium. You know, going back to them building the stadium as a mostly temporary structure in terms of the upper tier and the roof, and that in the idea obviously was to break it down into a 25,000 seater athletic stadium. Then they realised that wasn't sustainable and they needed football to you know, have a sustained use of the stadium throughout this year, and obviously have some benefit to the local area. So then obviously Tottenham West Ham came in. We were the better option since we didn't want to knock the stadium down. We said that we can continue with some athletics. We were going to buy it. Then, you know, they had their doubts because, you know, Tottenham and Leyton Orient kicked up a fuss. So then they came up with this lease option, which we obviously went for. And now we are where we are. They've had to obviously extend the roof, all these conversion costs that they've had to make because of the stadium, because they didn't have the foresight to build this stadium properly and think about the actual legacy after the games. So completely down to the incompetence of Sebco and the LLDC and not having any vision at all. So but that's basically, there's no legality mentioned, no legal issues for West Ham mentioned at all in that article, but it just goes down to that, you know, this was a complete act of incompetence by the LLDC. So it's interesting. Like, I advise you to check it out. And what this means for West Ham is Sadiq Khan has come out on Twitter and said that you know, how it's an onerous deal and it's represents no value to the taxpayer, and he's taken over the stadium to ensure that you know, there is something that's the taxpayer is basically not getting ripped off, and he's going to look to renegotiate any deals, which that's an interesting point. Renegotiate any deals. We've obviously got a legally binding contract in this lease. So for one, I can't see a situation. A lot of people are panicking, saying, "Oh, they're going to charge us more money." I don't see how they could. I mean, the loss that there's projected for 17-18 is something like 24 million. I think it said 24 million. So how they're going to expect us to pay an extra 24 million a year is beyond me. The only deal renegotiations I can see would be, well, you know, if we'll pay a bit more if you give us obviously the catering or something like that. But even then, 24 million, that's a lot to find. So the only viable option to me to stop to save the taxpayer money and stop them losing money is to sell us the stadium. And I mean, that's the only thing that they can do. I mean, they can't kick us out and they can't charge us more money. I mean, someone might have more of an idea than me, but I'm pretty sure they can't, because we have a contract. So the only option is to sell us that stadium before the taxpayer loses any more money. We give a fee, and it probably won't be a big fee for the stadium, looking at the situation where we are. But, you know, then that way, all these conversion costs and all of that to the taxpayer are done. So let me know what you think. Finally, you know, obviously, Everton, West Ham, complete shambles of a game. Just a disaster, really. An embarrassing performance to lose to a team that have been struggling to score and lose by 4, and have been struggling to defend and we don't score. It was a really tough loss to take, that one. It was probably the hardest one of the season. And what didn't help is youth academy player Moses McCarthy I think it was on Instagramming or tweeting or whatever it was, a little picture. I think it was like Instagram or Snapchat or something of Wayne Rooney, the scoreline, and it was like, Wayne Rooney, what a goal, or something like that. Now, he's a young player. Yeah, he's appreciating the goal and that sort of thing, but that is absolutely poor timing. You know, last thing you want is your own players rubbing it in your face and sort of kicking you when you're down. And I know that probably wasn't his intention, but it's just completely idiotic from him to the timing of that post when, like I said, the fans, you know, we were just gutted at what we were seeing, and then to see that, he needs to really. I mean, a lot of fans are calling for him to just be released. Which might be extreme. I think you should just come out and say, look, I'm sorry, I was appreciating the goal, I didn't think about that. But it just gives you this vibe of, you know, the players don't care, and you've got these young academy players, and you just think like the fans are hurting right now, and to have the players like you see Ayew smiling at the end, you know, that's not what we need. That's just rubbing it in. So I think words need to be had with Moses McCarthy. I would say that. Let me know what you guys think, of course. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Like I said, I sort of had to cover the stadium situation because it was such a big story, and you had obviously the report and then the news that Khan was taking over. So I had to cover that into 2 segments. So let me know what you guys think. But like I said, I will say that there's no legal situation, no law is mentioned in there that we've broken or anything. It's literally said it was a bad deal, and all they can do for me is sell the stadium to us. So let me know what you think. But don't forget to follow us on all social media. You know, West Ham Fan TV on Twitter, Facebook, all of that. You can follow me on Twitter at The Lawless, THE Lawless. And yeah, like I said, keep commenting. We've got all the stuff coming out, all the fan cams. So that we weren't at the Everton game, so that's why there were no fan cams, but we will be there for Man City, so there will be fan cams for Man City. Also, don't forget to follow us on Volley. So we're using that now, new social media app. So check that out. Type it in your app store, and yeah, find us on there, West Ham Fan TV. Anyway, I've rambled on long enough. Have a great weekend, lads. Let's hope. If we don't win, we probably won't win, but let's hope we play with a bit of pride this weekend on Sunday. So thank you guys so much for watching, and one thing left to say, come on you Irons.